Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps people like to listen? How do I make money from my podcast? Well, the answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. When I started using Anchor to do my podcast, it was so extremely easy that I haven't even bothered to look for another app to use. I love this app. It's the only one I deal with, the only one I even recommend, period. I recommend you get on there ASAP. If you want to start a podcast, this is definitely the place to go. It's easy. You can drive around and record. You can sit in your basement and record. You can do it anywhere. It's fantastic. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast, make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start, anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Adam Rich from the Really Rich Podcast. And listen, today, man, it's going to be a very positive day, a very positive outlook, but I have to at least address the recent passing of Kobe Bryant. And listen, this is why I wanted to do this podcast today, this episode, 100% about mental toughness. It is, in my opinion, it is one of the most overlooked, undervalued traits in a human being, and it's arguably the single biggest factor in whether or not how you handle adversity and pressure, not only how you deal with it when it happens, but how you handle the outcome, good or bad, of any event that goes on in your life. And the reason why I'm so heavily focused on this is because there's not too many better people in the world that represented mental toughness more than Kobe. There's not really many people that did a better job demonstrating day after day and showing mental toughness than Kobe Bryant. There's a few guys I can think of, like Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan before Kobe, Tom Brady, for the older folks listening, maybe Joe Montana. There's a lot of factors that go into what it means to even have mental toughness, or what actually are the benefits of it. But I want to try to break them down as best as I can for the people out there, because listen, whether you're a kid that's in school, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, or even if you're fucking 80 years old, the idea of going through life feeling like you're less than, or that you have some kind of unfair disadvantage, for yourself as opposed to others. The idea that you're some form of a victim in some way, and I don't mean like a very tragic case like murder or rape or something like that. I mean, in life, if you feel like you're somehow hindered because of some unforeseen action or person out there that you don't even know, or you haven't even met, you've just heard that someone or something is out to get you, for yourself, it's a very shitty way to live your life. And I'm going to explain why. I don't mean that to be mean or to be an asshole. I just mean that it's detrimental to your happiness, your confidence, and your optimism in life, man. Like, if you go through life thinking that no matter what you do or what you achieve or how good you are, that you're always going to run into some shadowy figure that's going to hold you back, you've already lost before you started. You have to believe that you can accomplish something before you're even fucking close, if you want to actually accomplish something worth talking about, worth thinking about. Like, listen, it's easy to do the dishes. You don't have to have a lot of mental toughness to power through doing the dishes. It's easy to clean your room. It's easy to make a grilled cheese sandwich. But the things that's not easy, the things that's very difficult to deal with, are very powerful, tragic, high-pressure situations that can make or break you, your confidence, your relationships, your work. You know, like, there's a lot of things. When people fail, this is what I think is so important. If you're not taught how to bounce back from a failure, if you're not taught how to grow and learn from a failure, and if you're not taught how to regain your confidence, how to have resilience after a failure, it can be just detrimental. It can destroy all hope at a recovery or a thriving, or it's just, I think it's very necessary to not only fail, but to embrace the failure, to own that. You got to understand what it is that you're getting yourself into. If you fail at something, no matter how big or small it is, when you fail, it's a reminder that no matter how good you think you are or how bad you think you are, wherever you're trying to get, you're not there yet. And it doesn't mean that it's never going to happen for you. It doesn't mean that you suck. It doesn't mean, and maybe you do suck right now. Actually, you could suck right now. But that doesn't mean that you always will. It should never, no failure should ever shake your confidence. It should just show you what you need to work on, what you need to be better at. And I can't begin to tell you how many times I've had to fail at stuff just to become great at it. And that doesn't mean I'm great at everything. It doesn't mean that I think I'm the man or that I'm awesome or anything like that. All I'm saying is that I don't see how you can enjoy a win if you don't even understand what it's like to lose. You don't even know the problems or the the depression or the anger or sadness that can come with failing. And I don't know how you really appreciate success if you don't understand what a failure feels like. You know, losing Kobe a couple days ago, it really reminded me of what kind of a warrior this guy was out on the court. He was so tough mentally that when he didn't care if he missed a shot. He didn't care if somebody dunked on him. He didn't care if he got blocked. None of it mattered. He didn't care if he lost in the finals. He cares, but the point is, it didn't ruin him. It didn't break his confidence. It didn't destroy him. And what he did is, like every other mentally strong person, what you do is when you lose, you think about the loss. You know, you embrace it, you acknowledge it, you think about what happened, but you don't dwell on it. You don't let it consume you. You don't let it take over your future, basically. You don't let it destroy everything that you've been working for, everything that you've been trying to build all this time. You know, I remember, listen, in school, I never really liked school. I liked going there and hanging out with friends and shit. I just never liked the format of sitting in a classroom for an hour, getting homework, taking a test, going to the next class, doing the same thing, and then going home, having to do homework at the house and everything. Like, I'd never liked that part. I've always loved learning. But what would happen now, if I would take tests, and if I failed a test, I just didn't have it in me. I mean, my parents were a huge part of this, but I never had it in me, really, as long as I can remember. I never had it in me to go home after a failed test. I never had it to just go home and just sulk about it and think, man, I'm stupid. Man, I'm an idiot. Man, I'm never going to understand this. Man, what's wrong with me? Like, I never had that. I never thought like that. Maybe when I was like super little, all I know is that my mom and dad, just as far back as I can remember, pushed into my head as deep as they could that no failure defines who you are. It just tells you what you need to do. It just tells you where you need to, if you want that, if you want it bad enough. Listen, I can fail right now at knitting a quilt. And it's not going to shake my confidence. I just don't care enough about that specific thing to try to get good. So if I tried to knit a quilt right now and it looked absolutely atrocious, I would probably laugh. Now, if I needed to, now here's the thing though, if it was like a life or death situation where I absolutely had to make this fucking quilt and then I didn't, that would probably be devastating. But the idea of not being good at it and sucking forever is the farthest thing from my mind. And even when it's something I care about, it bothers me to fail, of course. I don't like failing, but every fucking time I still look at it as a win, because in life you don't get wins and losses. You get wins and lessons. You don't lose unless you fucking give up forever. You don't lose, though. You just learn, what did you do wrong? What didn't I do right? And how do I get better? And it's an amazing thing if you can look at every failed situation like that. And to be honest with you, I hate even using the term failure, but I like to dig this shit into people's heads because we all run into this. We all think that we fail at something at some point. It happens. It happens to the best of us, no matter how you try to avoid it. But life isn't about avoiding failures. It's not about how many, how little amount of times we can fail. It's about taking those failures, turning them into positive, great lessons that we can learn from and get better from. You should not, and listen, this mental toughness doesn't just go with winning and losing or winning in lessons or any of that. It goes with how you handle situations in general. You know, like if you're on, anyone that's on social media, I'm sure we've all been here where you make a post. Some of your posts people like, some of your posts, they're not getting as many likes, but then every one of us probably has at least one or two or maybe 100 posts that people, just some random fucking stranger just jumps onto your post and just starts trashing you or says this is stupid or you're wrong, you don't know what you're talking about, you're ugly, you can't read good, whatever. They say all kinds of different stuff to try to attack you just purely because they don't agree with whatever it is that you're putting out, or they don't like it, or they think that. But you got to understand, not only do you have to know how to be stronger than that, you need to, not only is it a big, you need to ignore any of that, because nobody's opinion dictates what you can and can't do. If somebody says you suck and you're ugly, trust me, somebody thinks you're awesome and you're hot. Somebody does. Somebody might say you're stupid and you're not smart. Somebody else is going to agree with every single thing you say. And this is the reality. You can't listen. If somebody says you're the best, you should never listen to that shit either. Don't let it build your ego. It's good to, it's good to appreciate the good feedback. It's good to appreciate when somebody tells you nice things. It's good to say thank you. It's good to acknowledge that. But my point is, don't let anybody's opinion dictate where or not, where you think you stand on the excellence scale. If I said today you're awesome and then tomorrow this random guy says you suck, which one of us is right? It's probably neither of us. It's probably, you're probably somewhere in the middle. And that goes with all of us, because we all have moments where we think we're the shit and we all have moments where we think we are shit. The reality is you have to get out of that. Either one of them, you have to get out of that and get back down to neutral so you can execute. All I'm saying is do not let anything shake your confidence. Don't let anything shake the long-term goal that you set for yourself. Just because you're not doing it the way somebody else likes, or you're not doing it on their timeline or the way that they want you to do it, does not mean that you are going in the wrong direction or you're definitely failing. You need to self-assess that, because every situation's different. Every situation calls for it to be handled a little bit differently, depending on the person, depending on the situation, depending on where you're at, there's a million things that go into all of this. The one thing that you need to keep constant, though, is the mental toughness to bounce the fuck back. You can put out a post of something you believe and you can have 0 likes, or you can have all trolls just trashing you. That doesn't mean to never post again. You should never quit post. If you love what you're trying to do, ignore everyone else's bullshit. I don't know a better, nicer way to say it. Every one of us has we may not be, I might not be the smartest, the prettiest, the most talented, the most anything. But nothing's going to stop my nonstop pursuit of excellence. The goal is to try to achieve perfection. It's not to actually achieve it. And that's the truth. I've told this story before, and I'll just tell a quick version of it real quick just to put some perspective to it. But this changed everything for me with my with the way I handle adversity, with the way I value mental toughness in anybody. And it's this. I was golfing a long time ago with my dad. I hit a horrible shot. I asked my dad basically if he would cheat, if he would, because he's told me, he's like, if you don't want to hit it from there, go ahead and push the ball out and so you can hit it, you can take a better shot. And I looked at him and I said, would you do that? And he said, no. Like immediately said no. And I said, well, why not? Because we're not playing professional golf. It's not like it's kind of cheating, I guess, but whatever, it's kind of more practice. And so he said, no, because I like I like it to be difficult. I like taking the tough shots. And I said, why? And he said, because it challenges you and it makes you better. You can't get good at the hard shots if you don't ever practice them. And the only way you're going to get involved in those hard shots is when you hit the bad shots and put yourself in that position. So basically, long story short, he said, no, I like the challenge. I like the mental toughness. I like it to be difficult because the only way I can get better is if I practice that stuff, and he said, and besides that, he said, not only do I not like cheating, and this is the part that changed everything for me. He said, not only do I not like cheating, I want to be so damn good that even if you cheat, I still can beat you. And that, it hit me like a brick to this day. I'll never forget that statement. And it changed the entire way I approach everything in life. And it's weird that some random occurrence, a random event on a damn golf course changed everything. It changed the way I do everything. I'm not saying that you should ask for things to be difficult. I'm not saying that you should love having a rough time or a difficult life. What I'm saying is the only way to really feel good about what you're accomplishing, the only way to really enjoy success through all the difficulty is when you fully understand how hard shit can get. When you understand that, when you can look back and say, I succeeded, even though everything was stacked against me, that's fucking incredible. It's powerful. It's inspirational. It's motivational. I don't know. There's a billion. It's all positive. There's nothing bad. I don't know anybody who said, yeah, everything was difficult, but I succeeded anyway. And then people are like, yeah, fuck you. No, except the jealous people, the haters. And in which case, who gives a fuck what they think? I don't care what haters say about me. People hate on me every damn day. And I love it. And here's why I love it. Because when people are hating on you, it's purely because they're either in a bad place within themselves or they're super fucking jealous. And to be honest with you, I don't know how you can be super fucking jealous unless you're in a bad place. It's you should be happy for the people that are succeeding at doing what they love to do, but instead there's a lot of people out there that see other people succeeding and shit on them just because they're not. And I look at these people there was a guy I used to work with, and here's what he did. He never wanted to work hard to look good. What his tactic was, he did this every day. He would talk shit about, to the bosses, he would talk shit about all the people around us. So that way, by default, he looked better. Because he didn't want to climb to the top. He wanted to bring the top down. You can build the tallest building one of two ways. You can either build the biggest building, build the tallest building, or you can knock all the other buildings down. If I build a 1-foot building, but I knock every other building down, I got the tallest building. But what me personally, just because I appreciate mental toughness, just because I appreciate the lessons and the challenges that come with adversity, I want to build the tallest fucking building. I want somebody else to build the tallest building right now, and then after that, then I want to build the tallest one. That's just true. Look, when I got into podcasting, given the circumstance that I'm in, the job that I'm in, the family that I have, the obligations that I have, the responsibilities I have, I fucking knew from day one that it was going to be a long, slow, difficult climb to having a successful podcast. And by success, I don't mean rich. I don't mean money. I know the name of the podcast is Really Rich. People that have been there since the beginning, people that know me very well know that I do not mean money at all when I'm talking about being really rich. The whole idea of being really rich is to appreciate what you have in your life. If you have good parents, good kids, a good wife or a good husband, a good boyfriend or girlfriend, good friendships, a good career, good health, these are what make you really rich in life. It's not about fucking money. It drives me ballistic that people in the world today are so hell-bent on how to make more money. That's all they give a fuck about. And you know why 99% of people fucking fail? Is because they put all their eggs into this whole money-making basket. That's all they care about is how I can make more money so I can buy cooler shit, so I can look better on Instagram and Facebook and Tinder or whatever fucking site they're on. It's not about living a happy life. If everyone focused on how to live happy, how to be happy, how to appreciate your own fucking life, you wouldn't worry about money. The money shit would just be secondary. It wouldn't matter to you. Because think about it logically. Logic is the most important element in my life. It's the most important principle, or the most important gift or skill. I don't know. I don't know how you want to look at it. My family is the most important thing to me, but logic is the most important, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what word you would. I'm blanking on a fucking word to use, but let me just explain, and then maybe you can fill in the word since I'm blanking on this. Logic is so incredibly important to me because if something doesn't make sense, if something can't logically happen, if there's no chance of something possibly happening, why are we focused on it? And the reason why logic is so important is because it gives truth. It lets you know what is and what is not. And so I want to break it down like this. Think about it logically. If you have all the money in the world, is it possible to still be miserable? Of course it is. Robin Williams, the famous comedian actor, had all the money. I mean, had tons of money, tons of fame, tons of success. Everyone loved him. Everyone wanted to be around him. He had it all. Guy still killed himself. And I hate to put it blunt like that, but it's true. And it sucks because I loved Robin Williams. I thought he was fantastic. And I hate to see somebody with that kind of love and attention and fame and money and success and all. He had it all. And it wasn't enough. Now, what he clearly did not have in his world, in his mind, was happiness. Because no fucking person on earth that wakes up and goes to bed every day happy wants to take their own life. It doesn't happen. Do you know what every person that has depression has in common? It's not just the chemical imbalance. We get that part of it. It's a chemical thing. I understand. And people take medicine and all that, and it helps and all that. But do you know what every single person who's depressed has in common? They're not happy. Every one of them. Every single person on earth that lives with depression is not constantly happy. And I am. I am constantly. I have moments. Don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to say that I'm the fucking beacon of hope when it comes to happiness. What I'm saying is the reason why I'm happy every day. I say it like this. I am happy every day. I'm just not happy all day. I have moments. I stub my toe. I'm like, fuck. I spend money on something and it breaks or I lose it or something, I'm not happy about that. I get into an argument with my wife, not happy about that. My dog shits on the couch, I'm not happy about that. Like there's things in life that make me not happy, but it's always temporary. But I'm the happiest person I know because I have so much to be, I'm so grateful. I am so appreciative of the things that I do have in my life. And it damn sure ain't money because I'm not rich, really. I'm really rich, not to be fucking cheesy. I had an opportunity, took a shot. Don't be mad. So my point though, all joking aside, I'm extraordinarily happy in life and it has nothing to do with money. And when you are happy in life every day, you're not worried about money. You're not thinking about money. I would love for my podcast to just blow up and make all kinds of money and all that shit, but that ain't what it's about for me. What I want out of my podcast is I want to help as many fucking people as physically possible. I would love for somebody to call me up 20 years from now, text me, email me, whatever technology's out then. I would love for somebody to meet me in 20 years and say, dude, you changed my life because you taught me how to not only think, but how to be happy, how to appreciate things, how to be positive, how to love everything that goes on in my existence. You taught me how to get rid of criticism and ignore judgment, ignore the opinions of others. You taught me how to shut that shit down so I can live happy doing what I love. That's all I want. That's all I want to do for everyone else. I want to offer them the guidance on how to accomplish that. And I don't ask for nobody to fucking pay me for it. So it's never been about money for me. In fact, if you met me, if you've seen the goals that I have, the drive that I have, the ambition, the desire I have to help people, if you've seen all of that and you've seen how happy, if you could cut my fucking head open and just see how happy I am and how appreciative I am in life, and then you've seen how much money I made, you would know that I'm not lying. You would know that my fucking intention is pure on trying to make everyone as happy as I am. And I don't mean to do it the exact same way. I just want people to live their life and figure out what the fuck it is that makes them happy and let go of anger, depression, bitterness, sadness, possible suicidal thoughts. It kills me to see that Kobe Bryant and his daughter and all those other people that were on the helicopter, that they went out the way they did, suddenly, quickly, like it seemed like a regular morning, and then bam, 2 hours later they're gone. They're not with us on this earth anymore. It's weird to think that the whole entire earth now doesn't have the motivation and inspiration of Kobe Bryant. It's so wild to me. And that dude had incredible mental toughness. He had incredible optimism, incredible hard work ethic. And he didn't want it to be easy. He saw excellence and he said, am I capable of that? And you know how many times he failed in order to make that happen? Way more than any of us can count. But that was his lifelong pursuit of perfection, knowing that it can't be achieved. It's just amazing. It's inspirational to say the least. And that dude was happy, man. He had all the basketball accolades that you could ask for. He had a loving wife, loving kids. He was a great dad, a hard worker, and he fought incredible adversity. But he always had the mental toughness to overcome it. That's what I want for all of you. I want you all to understand that no matter how dark things are or have been in your life, no matter what has gone against you, no matter what ever will come against you, you can take the perspective of saying, I don't mind how good or bad things are. I'm going to conquer all of it. No matter how much I get pushed down, I want to figure out a way to climb right back up. You need to live life like that. Find out what makes you tick, find out how to accomplish it, and whenever you quote-unquote fail, just remember, there's no wins and losses. There's wins and lessons. Anytime you take a quote-unquote loss, figure out what the fucking lesson was. Embrace it, understand it, feel the pain from the loss, because sometimes that helps us to never... Sometimes a loss is so painful that you do everything in your power to make sure it never happens again. And that also requires some serious mental toughness, because some people let failures cripple them for the rest of their lives. Don't do that. Don't be like that. You have the power. It's all in your head. If you think that the whole world has been holding you back this entire time, then it's now time to take the steps of saying, I don't give a fuck if the whole world has been holding me back. That just means my story is going to be even better. Because I'm going to win regardless who the fuck is against me. I love you guys, man, and I thank you for listening. I hope this helps somebody, man, even if it's just one. I hope it helps somebody. I hope it's been awesome for you guys. I hope that all goes well with you, and whatever kind of injustice you may be going through, whatever kind of trauma or devastation or problems you may have faced in your life, you may still be facing, or any that are going to come, because we all go through trials and tribulations at some point. And I just think that the shittier it feels, the better your victory is going to feel. But you got to be willing to fight back when things get tough. I've always had the mindset of, you're not going to keep me down. You may push me down, but I'm going to get up, and I'm going to show you how strong my mind is. I will conquer anything that you throw at me. And like I said, man, I don't ask for difficulty. I don't ask for a rough life. I don't ask for things to be difficult. But when they are, you need to have the mindset of, okay, here's the hurdle today. Here's the obstacle we're facing today. Now let's go out there and fucking own it. That's it, guys. I love you, and I thank you for listening, and I hope this really helps somebody. I really mean that. If you have any questions or comments, or you wanna get a hold of me, you can do that through you can leave a voice message to the Anchor app. If you want to get a hold of me, like DM me or something, you can on Twitter, it's Really Rich Adam. On Instagram, it's Really Rich Podcast. Same with Facebook. You can get a hold of me on Snapchat or YouTube at Really Rich. You can find me on LinkedIn at Adam Rich, founder and host of the Really Rich Podcast. And last but not least, TikTok. You can find me, the name is It's Adam Rich. So Really Rich, Adam Rich, Really Rich Podcast, somewhere in there, you'll find it. I love you guys, and I thank you so much for everything that you guys do, everything that you're a part of. I need you guys probably way more than you need me. So I love you, and I thank you again for everything, guys. I'll talk to you soon, all right? Peace. I'm out of here.